Welcome to Level X. This is Dr. Lou James Masters, founder of the Great Level X movement. Thank you so much for joining today. I have a wonderful topic for you here. Are you feeling like this too? Okay, are you feeling like this too? I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about, but just in case this is the first time you join us, I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining because, as you know, Level X is basically where you get to achieve long-term success while you maintain great relationship, positive relationship, and maintain your well-being. This is where we show you how to get to achieve your dream in life, because I believe that wherever you are today, that there is more for you. There is a deeper level of help for you. There is a more meaningful purpose. There is a more impact that you can make. There is actually a better way to live. There is more success. There is more financial abundance for you and your family. And unfortunately, so many of you are just not living up to that standard. And I believe the reason why you don't get to that standard is because you are actually operating at a very low level in your life. So my job is to help you move yourself from level 0 to that whatever that next level is for you. To some of you be level 1, some of you be level 3, some of you level 4, some level 10. Every one of you has a higher level to reach. And my job is every day I go to bed, I'm thinking of one thing: how do I move you from wherever you are today to that level? So again, thank you for joining. Now, if you are one of our friends who always been a supporter, I want to thank you. You've been very helpful and encouraging, and sharing these videos and asking the questions and be part of this wonderful community, this movement. I thank you for that. You have inspired me. Sometimes I don't feel like coming on, or sometimes I'm feeling a bit down. But when I think of you, when I think of the journey we're going on, I just have to come up and show up and bring the value to you. So thank you again for joining. Now, what am I talking about? Are you feeling this lately? Yes, I'm talking about, are you feeling discouraged lately? As you guys know, since the pandemic is running up a little bit, well, so-called winding up, because eventually every other month we have a new waves. But overall, I think in our mind, we've decided, look, we've got enough. But so things changed since the pandemic, right? A lot of the rhythm that you used to follow has changed a little bit. There is, in fact, the kind of work you used to do, things have changed in the way you are working. There are people who used to go to work in the office, but now they're actually working at home. Even worship of houses of worship changed a little bit, right? People used to get up and go to church. Now most people are still at home, being able to flip their channel, and get their services. And there are people who used to do live events, but now they pretty much doing stuff online, on Zoom. Okay, so much has changed with the pandemic. Our rhythm, our way of living, what we used to do, the interaction we do have, all these things were disrupted. And during that time, people kind of, lose their mojo a little bit, okay? People were not productive as they used to be. Because during that time, what really mattered for us was surviving, right? Or just making sure that, you stay alive. Just making sure you didn't, catch COVID. Or if you are one of the very unfortunate ones who actually lose a loved one, then it was about dealing with the grief, getting things together, and just really dealing with the reality of this person is gone. So it's been rough the past couple of years. And now we're getting to the end of that. Well, things have changed, okay? And the way life is going, things change. The economy is changing. Now we are talking about inflations. We are talking about interest rate. You see what's happening with the homes. Can't get a home. Interest rate is pretty high. You see the challenges you're having with jobs. A lot of jobs are closing. People are losing their jobs. And so it's just been a whole lot going on. Climate change has been a tough one here. It's been hot here where we are, and all over the place in the US, it's been pretty hot. So this is to tell you that it's a new normal. But one thing is certain, that whatever that new normal looks like, you are still expected to produce for your family. You're expected to still run the business. You are still expected to be on top of your game. In fact, you cannot afford not to be on top of your game, all right? If you're a business owner, you know what I'm talking about. You still have to pay the bills. You still have to serve your customers. You still have to find a way to bring value to your customers. If you're in your relationships, you know that you still need to get closer to your spouse, to your children. You still need to manage these kids, the challenges, the expectations, the colleges has to be paid. So everything is still going on. in this new world, okay? Your health still need to be on top of it. So in spite of, on top of all the stress and the pressures and all the things that you have, now you actually needs to be productive again. And that has been a challenge for many of us because, truth be told, and here I'm talking for myself here too, it's been discouraging, okay? Because there are so many projects maybe you're working on, and suddenly you lost control of those projects. You lost control of your rhythm, right? There were maybe some plans you had during the pandemic or before the pandemic. Now it seems to be hard to get them going. Some of you were having things going on pretty nicely, things were moving kindly and all everything, and suddenly disruptions comes in. You know, you lose a loved ones, or an employee quits, or anything, been happening, to the point you're asking yourself right now, man, am I in the right path? Okay, is this for me? And you feel a bit stuck. You feel a bit discouraged, like a sense of sadness, as if like things doesn't seem like it's moving the way you want it to be. Man, and I understand that pain. I understand that challenge. I've been feeling kind of the same way. It's just that, 1 minute you think you got this, okay? You think you're on top of this. It seems like you have everything under control. The plans are moving nicely. You're making progress. And then the next minute, just then like, oh my God, I'm still so far behind. I'm feeling like I got so much more to do. Just hard to get into the rhythm, into the module, right? So I want to encourage you. I just want to let you know that do not let yourself to be discouraged. Okay, do not let yourself to be discouraged, because you, truth be told, if you want to be successful, whether it's in business, whether it's in your family life, whether it's in your professional life, or just want to be in general, or be a person that is living a fulfilled life, or a life that is more meaningful, one where you actually achieve a level of success and you're still feeling great and have great friends around, if you want to be that person, meaning that you're living at your level, like you're living at your highest level possible, then you have to realize that things not gonna come easy. That you got to have a level of conviction that I got to get this thing done. That there is no other alternative. There is no other results that I'm gonna wait for. I need to get it done. So no matter how you're feeling right now, you just cannot allow yourself to be discouraged. You have to find a way to pick yourself up a little bit. You have to find a way to get up and start the grind again, because things are moving, things are changing, and you just can't afford to be lagging behind. So the first thing I want you to do is, when I get so discouraged, I always go to what I call gratefulness. I want to just take a little time to really thank God, thank the Creator, and say, look, I still have a whole lot of things going on for me here. Here we go, I'm still healthy here. Family is still intact here, okay? And you know that we have a lot of family members and friends who can say the same, who really, their family were heavily affected. So I'm grateful for that. Grateful having a place to live, grateful to still have a business to run and still have a chance to make it work. So it's not that bad, okay? Yes, I could be discouraged. Yes, I could be further. Yes, my rhythm has been disrupted a little bit, but I have to realize that I have some good things going on for me here, because the future still holds great things for me. All right, I'm still capable of making my dreams come true. I'm still able to achieve a whole lot more because I'm still alive and I'm still well. So I'm grateful. So by feeling grateful, right, by feeling thankful for what you have, for what you've accomplished, you can have the new level of energy to move forward, because you realize that things could be worse. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'm not looking at is my great reset, what I call a great reset. Sometimes you just need to reset. And there are different ways to do this. Some people go to the gym and work out and bring some energy. Some people will take a walk in the wood and just go to nature and reconnect a little bit. Some people would probably just look at everything else. But whatever you do, I think you get to the point where when you feel you are discouraged, sometimes it's because you have too much. You're thinking there's so much, okay? You're thinking it's overwhelming. You're thinking it's so chaotic. You don't know where to start. But if you take time to reassess where you are, look at everything that are your priorities, things that you need to complete, and basically take the time to say, okay, I'm going to start with a new plan, okay? I'm not going to be able to do this. Yes, I'm not going to be able to complete this book at the end of the year. Yes, I may not be able to start this business. Yes, I may not be able to do that travel. Yes, I may not be able to get that vacation. Probably won't be able to make it that school. but I can get this done in January. I can get this done maybe in the next semester. So go ahead and reassess where you are so that you can make new plans. All right? Because when you have new plans, when you have new perspective, when you take some time to thinking about it and start seeing things in a different ways, you actually getting yourself a new wave of energy, a new wave of excitement, because you realize, oh, I still can do, yes, I cannot do this big stuff, but I can do part B, all right? I can do a little bit of C. I can actually do this part, okay? So don't sit there and be frustrated about this big project you have, right? Frustrated because you're not able to go ahead and deliver big. I think you should take the time to say, what can I do now? What is a small piece I can do? Okay, what kind of 1, 2, 3 that I can accomplish this end of the year, so that I can still feel good about myself. So I'm saying it's time to research. It's time to start looking. Man, your finances messed up. Take the time. Sit down, look at all the bills, okay? Look at everything you owe. Don't just ignore it, because ignoring it is gonna bring you more stress. Now, paying attention to it is gonna bring you more stress, because deep inside in your mind, you know there are things that you need to take care of. So I say take some time to put everything on paper, put all the projects you have on paper, and reclassify them, put it in the proper place, decide which one you're gonna move on with, which one you're going to delay, which one you're going to cancel, and get a clear path for you. You can breathe again, because now you have a new mission, a new lifeline has been given to you, because you can start. So instead of being stuck with everything you wanted to do at the beginning of the year, all the big dream you wanted to accomplish, and feel depressed, feel discouraged, feel like a failure, I say start new, man. Look at new goals, get something smaller, something more realistic, and let's get it accomplished, okay? And here's the third one. The third thing I want you to do after you actually be grateful for what you've accomplished so far, after you get the great reset, right? You basically look at things differently, right? And then the last one I want you to do is to basically get some outside perspective, meaning that get somebody else to look at things for you. Because I'm going to tell you this, sometimes you have opportunities right next to you, but because you're in the middle of the funk, because you are just not in the groove, you're going to miss it. By having someone to look at things and say, hey man, I was trying to do all this here, and I guess stuck a bit. Won't you take a look and what do you think? You'll be amazed how many opportunities somebody else, maybe an expert, maybe a coach, maybe a leader, or someone you trust, someone who can guide you a little bit. You'll be surprised how much perspective they're going to bring to you. Say, hey, why don't you do this? Hey, why don't you try that? Hey, you know what? I know of this. In fact, I think this might work. So don't suffer in silence, okay? Don't stay by yourself. The worst thing you can do, my friend, listen to me. The worst thing you can do for your dreams, the worst thing you can do for the things you're trying to accomplish, is to suffer in silence, is to be stuck, is to feel discouraged, and to stay by yourself and not reaching out to someone who can encourage you, someone who can guide you, someone who can support you and say, come on, let's go. You can do this. Here, do that. So this is where we as coach we come in, right? You can actually, send me a DM, say, hey, I'm stuck with this. Hey, I'm stuck with my business. I'm stuck with my relationship. I'm stuck with my career. I'm stuck with this project. Just put, I'm stuck into it, okay? DM me or put a comment. You say, I'm stuck. And guess what? We'll have a conversation, see how we can help you, as much as possible. Because I believe sometimes we have great opportunity ahead of us or around us, but it's in our blind spot. We're just not seeing it. And someone just come in and they be like, oh, have you considered this? How about that? And you'd be amazed the great things you could have accomplished, right? And you realize, look, I didn't even have to go that far. I didn't have to keep on going on this project that I'm bugging down. And I can actually, take it this way. Guys, where we are today, at that phase we are today, you cannot afford not to produce. You cannot afford to be discouraged. You cannot afford to be down. You cannot afford to be watching it from the sidelines. You got to jump into it. You got to jump into the productions. You got to bring up your games. You have to rise up to that level where you're going to be able to perform, where you'll be able to bring value to the marketplace, where you'll be able to bring value to your friends and your whole audience. So I'm going to encourage you today to really look at where you are and to see how you're going to move forward in a more powerful way, how are you going to move forward in a more capable way, and figure out what do you need, who do you need to support you in order to get that. Because well, at the time we are right now, we need the encouragement. We need to move forward. We need to keep on pressing. So I hope that I was able to inspire you a little bit, able to push you up a little bit, and say, yes, you can do this. Don't give up on the whole dream. Don't give up on the whole goal. Don't give up on the big accomplishment, but just look at it differently. Be grateful for what's happening to you today, right? And then let's reset. Let's start all over again. You can do that. And then lastly, let's find someone to guide us so that we can move powerfully into our new destiny, our new destination, our level X. Thank you so much for joining here. If this is your first or second time, anytime you've been watching, I want you to like this video. I like when you drop your comments. Let me know, is there anything we can discuss, how we can support you, any comments you have. Please, if you're feeling discouraged also at this point, just let us know that you are discouraged. Put a note in there. We'll appreciate it. And also share this video with your friends. There may be someone you know who actually need a little push. Share that video with them. And lastly, don't forget to join our support group, our Level X Success Blueprint Facebook group, where we actually spend more time sharing with you here, guys. I have so much things coming up for you, working on hard to bring you new programs, to bring you new ways of getting to your next level. I promise you, we're going to finish the end of the year strong. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you again. But don't forget, every day is an amazing day, an excellent day to take one good step toward your level X. Until then, I'll see you next week.